I'm gonna show you how to get on the path to getting rich this summer. A lot of you guys want to just party, get drunk, chase girls, and goon all summer. But that's not what you want to do if you really want to get rich. If you really want to pursue your goals, you need to use this time to do things that'll put you in the right position to succeed. And I'm gonna show you how you can utilize this summer in order to do that. Now, you may be thinking, man, I want to around all summer and just have fun and party, get drunk and high, bro. You ever heard the story about the ant and the grasshopper? Grasshopper was bullshitting all summer. He was fucking around, grasshopper chicks, partying, getting high, gooning. Grasshoppers can goon, you ain't know that. And he was doing this shit all summer, and he would see the ants, they were working all summer. You may have heard this story. Ant would laugh at him like, yo, you ants, look at you, man. Yeah, you need to have fun. And the ants was like, nah, we gotta work. The grasshopper was trying to get the ants to come to the freak off. And the ants was like, nah, we gotta work, grasshopper. Get the fuck out of here, man. And the grasshopper just laughed at the ants. And they had fun all summer, right? And then guess what happened? Oh shit, winter came. The ants had all these motherfucking food, shelter, resources to keep them safe and alive during the winter. And then the grasshopper was like, yo, can you share some of that shit you got with me? Some of that food, man, I'm hungry as hell. And the ants was like, no, bitch, you was bullshitting all summer like a hoe, and we gonna watch you die. Now, in some versions of this children's fable, the ants shared their food with the grasshopper, man, but we don't talk about socialism here. In real life, grasshopper died because he was bullshitting all summer. Let's not let that be you. Let's put in work this summer that propels us towards our real goals so we don't die like the fucking grasshopper. 5 things you need to do this summer and focus on so you'll be on the path to getting rich by the time the summer's open. Because you're not going to get rich in the summer. What a season is like 90 days. You ain't going to get rich in 90 days. But you can change your life and put yourself on the right trajectory in 90 days. Or you can stop watching this video, just get drunk and high all summer, try to rizz up girls or whatever the young people are saying. But instead, let's focus, all right? And all this shit is backed by science. And the last one might be the most important one. So first thing we need to do, write down our goals and plan them out. I know that sounds basic, but shut the fuck up. Just get off my dick for a minute. I'm going to explain this to you. We want to write it down, but most people, when they set goals, they do a few things wrong. And they set goals like a bitch. So the first thing they do wrong is they try to set whole year goals. And that's fine. You can set whole year goals. But I like 90-day goals. Breaking my goals down into 90-day increments. Here's why. So much shit can happen within 1 year. It is difficult to forecast what the world is going to be like 365 days from now. Last year, Biden was president. We didn't know who was going to be the president. Crypto was lower. All types of shit changes, right? So I really like setting 90-day goals and plans. The second thing people do wrong is when they're planning their goals, they're thinking, what do I have to do to accomplish this? So let's say there's a bug in your house. Again, this is your house, not my house. I live in a fucking penthouse. A bug can't get this high in the air. This is not their natural habitat. I got a private elevator. You need a key to use it. Let's say there's a bug in your house, right? And he's having a great time, you know? Enjoying himself, doing bug shit, eating food out your motherfucking sink on your dirty ass dishes. He out here laying eggs, fucking bug bitches, raising a family, gooning. He's really enjoying himself, right? And you see this motherfucker and you think, oh man, I gotta get him. So maybe you try to like hit him with a fly swatter. Maybe you stomp on him with a shoe or you throw a chancleta at him. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. And the problem is you may hit the bug, but you may miss the bug. And that's how most people set their goals. They think, what do I do to accomplish this goal? But they set it in a way where it's like, oh, I might get it, I might not. What we want to do is set goals in a way where we don't leave no ambiguity about what's going to happen. So for example, if we go to this bug example, what if instead of just trying to swat this motherfucker, right? What if you bomb the building? It's an AI powered missile. Let me get my art on. Right? What if you bomb the building, right? Or maybe you don't have to bomb the building. Maybe you can fumigate the building, call an exterminator. So instead of saying, what do I have to do to get the bug? Say, what kind of effort would I have to put in to make sure I kill this bug and his whole motherfucking family in his lineage here? Make sure he doesn't breed. That's how we want to go after our goal. Instead of saying, what do we have to do to accomplish this goal? we changed that to, what kind of effort would I have to put in to make failure impossible? It's a way more severe way to attack your goals. But it's very important that you write your goals down, because there's a study done by Dominican University. When I first read that, I was like, they got colleges in Dominican Republic? But no, it's Dominican University in California, right? I was like, man, what are they teaching in there? They teaching how to dance the dembo and cook bananas? What they teach how to drive Uber in this motherfucker? But no, it's called Dominican University and it's in California. And in this study, it showed that people who wrote down their goals were over 40% more likely to accomplish them. So the first point is to just write the goals down, but then we have to plan them out. So I put together this thing called the Victory Vision Planner for you, and there's a video on how to use it, right? But here we have something called the Ambition Planner, right? What you do is at the top of it, you write down your goal. So this is dummy data, but this guy, he had a goal of, he wants to make 100K per month in revenue. He wants 100K YouTube subscribers. He wants a new Lambo, right? And he wants to lose 1 pound of fat. That's what you write at the top of these columns. You can add new columns here, right? And then you write down all the steps that would make failure impossible. You start writing these goals down. What's cool about it is what you do is you write this down, you set up a card for it, and then you give it a due date, right? I made this a long time ago, so I'm gonna change this due date so we can, let's say it's not done. As things get done, you can cross them off the list. And then you can look at progress, right? So this is all the steps for all your goals. You can see what needs to be started, what hasn't been started, what's done, right? And then you can see, hey, what do I have to do this month? Because we have deadlines for every step. See, most people never do this. They write their goals down, but they don't plan it out. You got to plan it out and have a deadline for every step. If you don't have a deadline for every step, you bullshit. Once you have a date on everything, you can see, okay, what do I have to do this month? You can see exactly where you're at. You can track your progress with the goal. There's two types of tasks. There's one-time tasks and there's recurring tasks. So we put all our one-time tasks here in the ambition train. These are things you got to do once, right? Like if your goal was to lose 10 pounds of fat, buy a food scale, get a meal plan. You do that shit once, right? But the things you have to do every day is follow your diet, right? And that's where we go to the other part of the Victory Vision Planner, which is called, it's really the habit tracker, but we call it the success tracker. This is where you track your habits. And this is filled with some dummy data, but we put it in here. And you can get this for free. It's a Notion template. This is stuff I put in here, right? How many hours you worked on your main goal, how much money you made, then we have your health stuff, how many hours you slept, did you work out today? And you can put your macros in here. This is pretty cool. I have a formula that auto calculates your macros. So you can just put in protein. It adds up how many calories you have. So I'll put in this protein. Let's say you got 250 grams of protein a day. You see how the calories are adjusting here, right? So I have a formula in here, right? But also you can put in how many calories you burn that day. And you'll be tracking this. Again, I always talk about tracking how many calories you burn with some sort of fitness tracker. I use the Oura Ring. Look at this as I adjust this. Let's just say you burn 7,000 calories a day. You see how the deficit he's in, right? Obviously he didn't burn that much, right? But I just want you to see. So it auto calculates for you, surplus or deficit. And then you can put your weight in here, right? Boom. Now check out what it does with weight. I have a graph here, right? So watch what happens when I change the weight. Right, the graph changes on its own, and also the income changes on its own. So you can just do one of these every month, right? And you can add more habits that you want to track here. The one that I use is way longer than this. Pause. Put your one-time task in the ambition planner, and you put your habits in the success tracker. And then the next thing you want to do is go over your goals every day, review them, maybe even visualize them. At the risk of sounding like one of these white girls who collects rocks and got a whole bunch of fucking gravel pit next to her bed and a motherfucking dream catcher feather shit over her door, and she talking to you about manifesting shit. Yo, there's something to it. So I'm gonna show you something. Back in the day, I had one of my video editors, Johnny Ty. He's on YouTube now. He's called it Fly with Johnny Ty. And I told Fly with Johnny Ty, yo, listen, I want you to make an image of me with 1 million subscriber YouTube plaque and the ClickFunnels plaque for making $10 million. And I took that and I printed it out and I put it on my desk. It was like a vision board. I got both those awards now. There's something that happens when you visualize shit. When your boys gets a new car, you start seeing that car everywhere, right? You not an X-Men either. You ain't Charles Xavier. You ain't Magneto, Jean Grey, or Cyclops. You ain't even Gambit, nigga. The truth is, there's a part of your brain called the Reticular activating system. And basically it decides what you'll notice in the environment. Because there's so many sounds, textures and visual things going on in the environment. If you paid attention to all of it, you go crazy. So your mind filters out a lot of it, right? Until it's triggered in your RS that it's something you should see. So you start seeing these motherfucking cars everywhere after it's triggered in your RAS. It's just like that with your goals. If you start visualizing your fucking goals, you'll start seeing different paths to get there. Well, you can use AI to actually make your vision board because you ain't got Fly with Johnny Tie. And this is a website where they had different models, all kinds of image generation, video generation, everything, right? And I trained an AI model on pictures of me. I just uploaded pictures of myself, right? In the Flux Laura Portrait Trainer. Boom. So if I click on this and I trained a few models, right? So here's one of my models. Now the prompt is king. Every time I say I have king in here and I tell it what to generate, it'll generate whatever I want. So I'm just gonna say what I am, what I'm doing, boom, right? I put the prompt in here, boom. Make your own vision boards, man. But it's like, it's you in the shit. I said, yo, man, me surrounded by money. You can print that shit out. You can put it, you make your screensaver something. Hold on, let me do another one for him. Check it out. What you trying to accomplish, man? How you want to live? I wouldn't wear that. I don't want to visualize that. But this shit works too. And you can see it and you make it you. The next thing you need to do is track your progress. And it's cool because Victory Vision Planner that I gave you, it shows you how to track your progress, right? There was a study published in the American Psychological Association, which found that people who track their progress were 76% more likely to achieve their goals. But frequently monitoring progress increases chance of success. And that's why the Victory Vision Planner I gave you is so helpful, right? Because now you can actually see how far you are with your goals, right? You can go to the Ambition Planner where you track your one-time tasks. You can actually see where you're at with the goals. So you hit progress and you can actually see a visual representation of how far you are on the things you got to accomplish. So these are all your tasks at once, all the tasks for all your goals. You can see what you have to do this month. And then with the success tracker, you can see if you're actually doing what you're supposed to do every day. You can see how close you're going to. You can watch your income rise, right, with the graphs. Or you can watch your weight drop. You can monitor your progress. And it makes you over 70% more likely to accomplish your motherfucking goals, right? And this is free. It's just a Notion template. Link is in the description. Next thing you got to do is surround yourself with winners. You will become like the people you're around, whether you want to or not. And people seem to know this. They don't take this into account with like their family members, the women that they have sex with. Like I see a lot of guys, man, they only picking girls based off looks or quality of head. The problem with it is you still got to be around this person and or talk to them in most cases. So here's a study from New England Journal of Medicine, which is my favorite journal of medicine. I don't fuck with that Southwestern Journal of Medicine. I want my medicine journal to come from New England. It studied the spread of obesity over 33 years. It was a 33 study. And the craziest shit about the study, you can go read this if you don't believe what I'm saying. Just read it, dork. What these science nerds said was, they came to the conclusion that one of your friends or someone you're close to gets fat, you have a 40% chance of becoming obese. Why? Because you become like the people you're around. You start picking up on people's habits involuntarily. It's the reason you have the accent you have. People in the same regions, they have the similar accents. They have a similar dialect, same religion, right? So style of dress. You pick up on these things involuntarily. So you pick up on fat boy habits if one of your boys becomes a fat boy. Now, what's even crazier about this is, let's say that one of your boys, right? He's not fat. But one of his friends, a motherfucker you don't even know, becomes obese. Now you have a 20% chance of gaining weight yourself. 20% chance. This is according to the study. I'm not making this shit up. Go read the study, man. Pull up your New England Journal of Medicine. I know you guys probably have a subscription. So it's not even just the people you're around. It's the people you're around are around. So it's really important that you cultivate your surroundings. If anybody got some bullshit habits, if they doing some fuck shit, some whack shit, you got to stay away from them. At least for 90 days, right? You want to get around people who have good habits, because the opposite is true too. When my friends get around me, they start getting in better shape. They start working out more. A lot of my friends stopped drinking. A lot of my friends went on diets and got cut. A lot of my friends stopped gooning. We all become similar to each other, and you will too. So you want to be around people who are more disciplined. If you ain't got no disciplined friends, make some. Join some fucking groups. Start going to the gym. Make friends at the gym. You got to figure out a way. The fifth thing you need to do is master discipline, to get better with your discipline. And it's too much for me to go into now, but I have a whole longer video all about how to master discipline. It's probably going to be the most important video you ever watched in your life. Go watch it right now.